preview.
What?
It says on.
Here we go.
There we go. Yep.
Yo, sorry about the delay there. I was running behind with the graphics, but we're just about. Yeah, actually, we're ready. 15 games to get through. We hit that first 5 under in the Cubs. That was cool. I like that one. Sometimes taking totals or pretty much betting anything in the early afternoon games to get you into trouble. Not today. Special shout out to the Warriors and Lakers for deciding to just stop scoring the entire second half of the fourth quarter last night.
That was awesome.
Holy shit. Prop Beaver was here and he was working and I was watching and like I wasn't saying anything, but like 2 minutes went by and I was like, yo, no one scored. Like, I mean, this is over, but technically it's still possible. Another minute goes by. That was nuts, man. Really, I was having a rough night. Really got my spirits back up.
Yeah, dude, sorry about the MLB guys yesterday. I mean, holy crap. I cannot believe I wasted my time for about 5 minutes talking about how Jordan Lyles and Jack Flaherty were going to show up yesterday. I mean, holy God, those dudes got rocked into a different century.
Jack Flaherty.
All right, embarrassment. But we got a nice slate ahead of us. I'm excited.
We do. And there's 15 games, so let's get started. Enough bullshitting. First game. Oh, we did this one. Next one. Blue Jays at Pirates. I'm going to just simply type Toronto or pass. And that means pass. Because you already know we're not betting the goddamn Blue Jays. But I also am not going to back Rich Hill. Like, because if you look at the Blue Jays, okay, they lost 5 in a row. I think I bet them 3 of those 5 games. So I took those L's right alongside them. But if you just sit back and look, 4 of those 5 games were against the Red Sox in Boston. The Red Sox, the hottest lineup in baseball. Like, and on the road now against Rich Hill, could this be the spot they get their shit together? Yeah, it looks like it might be, but so I'm not going to back Rich Hill, but I will not take another L with Toronto until they show me something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really love the spot for Toronto because of the fact that Bassett is going to be on the road against a bunch of lefties. Not exactly his best spot. And then on top of that, I mean, Rich Hill, despite not being a guy I trust, he has been pitching pretty decently thus far. Has shown a few flaws, but who knows if Toronto's even able to exploit him considering how the past few days went. And both teams are coming off a sweep. So this is just a really tough spot to cap. Would rather pass.
Agreed. Let's move on to the next one. White Sox at Reds. Definitely on the Reds here. You heard me say it last night. It's up to -115. When I gave it out last night, it was at -105. So yeah, we lost 10 cents, but you know what? That confirms my suspicions. I'm a little pissed. It's super public. Everyone's betting the Reds here. Everyone's fading Lance Lynn. But, I mean, can you blame them? Honestly, the White Sox are 0-6 this year in Lance Lynn's 6 starts. Chicago's bullpen is completely cooked right now. They've used their bullpen. Their bullpen has pitched 13 innings in the last 72 hours. No days off. So not only is the White Sox bullpen bad, it's also hurt and it's gassed. That White Sox bullpen is a mess right now tonight. Hunter Green looked good in 3 starts in a row. It seems -115 seems like a pretty good price for me, so I'm going to play the Reds.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit public, but I mean, I guess it doesn't seem to matter these days with guys like the Orioles just fucking cleaning up. But this is less of a fade of Lynn and more of a fade of the dreadful Chicago bullpen, like you said. I mean, 96 pitches thrown yesterday by the staff. Jesus. And the 2 arms that didn't go, Gregory Santos and Kenyon Middleton, are not good. They are bad. I think Lynn is definitely better than he's shown, but I mean, it's hard to ignore the fact the guy's allowed 4+ runs in his last 4 or 5 games and 3+ runs in all 5. I think he's going to get hit up in a park like Cincy. Not too hit up, but at least 3 or 4 runs. On the other side is Hunter Green. The guy's rolling right now. I mean, he's allowed 1 earned run and struck out 17 batters over his last 14 innings of work. He relies heavily on a mix of a 4-seam fastball and a slider, and the Sox own a gross -6.3 run value against that pitch mix against righties, 21st in the MLB. They're also 25th in WRC plus against right-handed pitching on the road, and just 20th in WRC plus against righties over the last week. So even with the White Sox bats heating up, they're still 20th over the last week. I just think there's way too many things working for the Reds here, and I respect the Reds bullpen with guys like Diaz on the back end.
Certainly respect it more than the White Sox bullpen tonight. Someone wants to know if you think Hunter Green can get 8 strikeouts.
The White Sox haven't been striking out all that much, so I don't know. I know that 2 guys have hit their total in the last 3 games against them, but I don't know. From a season-long standpoint, they haven't been striking out at that crazy of a rate, so I would just personally pass.
Okay. Next. Yeah, the template's set up for 3 people, so just give me a second to switch each one. Yankees at Rays. I want to take the Yankees, but I'm not going to do it. The bet I actually like here is the under 8.5. It was at minus 105 a couple hours ago when I wrote it down. Under 8.5 game total. I kind of like Brito. He's pitched well against everybody, not named the Minnesota Twins. Even his last start where the Yankees lost, he went into Texas and threw 5 solid innings, gave up just 2 earned runs. Yeah, the Yankees lost the game 2-0. That's not his fault. He pitched all right. Tampa's lineup's never seen Brito before. They've definitely been hitting righties well, but so has the Texas Rangers. In fact, the Texas Rangers have been better than Tampa analytically against right-handed pitching, and Brito had a great start against them. So I think Brito can get through 5 innings here and give up 3 runs or less, which should cash this easily because both of these bullpens have been solid. Both of these bullpens are pretty well rested. The Yankees bats aren't hitting for shit, so I'll take the under 8.5 here.
Yeah, my lean in this game would be the Tampa first 5 team total over 2.5. 80% of Brito's pitch mix thus far is comprised of a 4-seam fastball, a sinker, and a changeup. You apply those 3 pitches to the Rays against righties over the last 2 weeks, and they're first in ISO, first in WOBA, and first in run value. Brito's been all right thus far with those exception to 2 dreadful starts against Minnesota, but the underlying issues are there, and they're concerning. He's tied for 9th worst in the MLB in barrel percentage at 12.9%, tied with teammates Clark Schmidt, who we say suck all the time, and Domingo Germán. On top of that, his expected ERA of 6.35 is 13th worst amongst qualified starters. We just saw the Rays rock a red-hot Mitch Keller and Roansy Contreras in back-to-back starts, and I respect those arms far more than Brito. Ultimately, I'm going to decide to pass on this one, but that'd be my lean for you guys.
If you're wondering why the line dropped in this one, yeah, the public is on the Rays, but look at the early sharp action. It was in on the Yankees, so that's why I dropped a few cents from last night. Yep. So I actually like the under a little bit. He didn't, so we left it off the ticket. Move on to the next one. And it's set up for the wrong. There we go. Chris Sale, Zach Weaver. Simple. How do you not take Boston? How do you not take Boston here at plus 135? This lineup is out of control right now. I don't care who's pitching. This lineup scored 47 runs in the last 6 games. 47 runs. They are lighting it up. And not just lighting it up in general. They're lighting up right-handed pitching specifically. So, yeah, Zach Wheeler, always a reliable guy at home. I almost don't care. I almost want to disregard that information because Boston is... You know who else is reliable on the road? Gausman. Boston lit him up last night. Well, they scored 8 on him in the first 2 innings or some shit.
Yes.
Boston's hitting everybody, especially righties. So there's a lot. I think the reason the price is like this and a lot of the action on the Phillies here is people are just looking at the pitching matchup and being like, oh, definitely. Zach Wheeler can sail. Definitely. But if you look at the recent analytics from Boston's offense, can't fade this team.
Absolutely not. Yeah, I agree with you. Our boy JD is predicting a Chris Sale masterclass today, so that's always a good sign.
Oh, JD said that?
Yeah. Well, here's my logic here, right? We get to back the Red Sox bats and fade 95% of the money on Philly. I mean, that's just sensational. As we just said, the trio of Gausman, Manoah, and Berrios all had phenomenal history against Boston heading into this week's series. Those 3 combined to allow 18 runs and 29 hits through 14 innings of work. It is hard to process just how good these Red Sox bats are, and it's all over the lineup. From the 1 spot to the 9 spot, everybody's doing their part and everybody's contributing. They're bringing in the runs like mad. And now I know Zach Wheeler at home is a stud. There's nothing to be said about that. But he is more vulnerable against left-handed batters than right-handed batters. And the Sox are projected to start 6 lefties tonight. On top of that, I mean, let's not act like Wheeler just didn't give up 3 runs at home to the Colorado Rockies. If he gives up 3 runs to the Boston and we get to the bullpen, then I really like our shot here. Sale's going to be on the mound for Boston. No denying that those season-long numbers, holy God, they're ugly. But the guy's absolutely dealt in his last 2 or 3 starts, holding opponents to 2 runs combined. The bad start was against the Orioles, who smashed lefties and own him. His road starts, 3 of them have all been against teams who hit much better against lefties. So I believe his numbers in these spots are inflated, and I believe that's why so many sharps are on the Phillies here today. But the Phillies versus lefties are just 24th in WRC plus over the last 2 weeks. And I think that we could lose the first 5 here and still have a very good shot at winning this game due to the bullpens. Last 2 weeks, Phillies bottom 10, Red Sox top 10. Gotta roll with the Sox at that plus price.
Absolutely. Phillies bullpen.
It is a bit scary that everybody's on Boston, but I mean, what are we going to do, guys?
Is everyone on Boston? Because, I mean...
all the comments are, but I think we have some sharp people in our comments.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. We'll see. Next up, Rockies at Mets. I passed here because, I mean, I would love to fade the Rockies bats coming out off of a homestand at Coors, like I said last night, but I don't trust Kodai Senga. Certainly don't trust him at a minus 265 price or whatever the hell it's at. I also don't entirely trust the Mets bats right now. So, do I think the Mets win this game? Yeah. But I'm not willing to bet on it.
Yeah, I mean, this is tough. I really there's a part of me that really wants to take the Rockies, but gonna control myself here. Gonna practice some discipline because the Mets are due. There's no doubting that. It's just a spot. I mean, they've played 2 doubleheaders in their last 5 days. I know the Rockies are coming off of Coors, but Senzatello's always pitched good against the Mets. I don't like Kodai Senga, at least right now as a pessimistic Mets fan. So, like, at that price, I'm just looking at it and it's like, wow, that looks really good for the Colorado Rockies. But then I remembered in my head that the Dogs are plus 200 or more going back to last season have a horrendous hit rate. So pass.
Yeah. I mean, I like the spot for the Mets. Kodai Senga has shown us that maybe he's not a good pitcher.
Dude, Joe Skrill, I agree, bro. Yoshida is an animal. Rookie of the year is definitely attainable.
Yeah, he's cool. Twins at Cleveland. Prop Beaver, this is his pick, so I'm going to let him talk. I kind of disagree a little bit, but I don't like Cleveland. I can't back Cleveland. So let him sell you on it.
You have Cleveland or pass?
Yeah, I put
it. I mean, you can't officially back
Cleveland. I'm not going to argue with on it because Cleveland does suck right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is just, I understand the spot in terms of the Twins playing 2 extra innings games in their last 3 games. I completely get it. But I don't really care. I think the Guardians suck. I think this team is truly abysmal. They've now lost their last 11 to 16 games. Who they face? The Tigers, the Marlins, the Rockies, the Red Sox, who I respect, and the Yankees without Judge. I mean, 3 of those teams are below 500. Yankees, who are 17 and 15 without Judge the entire series. So they haven't really faced great competition lately, and they still can't do anything. I mean, over the last 14 days, they're 26th in WRC+, 29th in ISO against righties. They just don't have pop. And now, not the best for news for Cleveland because they're now going to face Bailey Ober, who I'm not the highest on Bailey Ober, but he has some great numbers against them with a 2.4 ERA and a 0.86 whip against them through 3 starts. I mean, the current lineup owns a ghastly 478 OPS against this dude. He's won the first 5 and covered the first 5 run line in 2 straight against them. Liking to make it 3 straight today. And here's the main reason why I'm betting this. I do not like this guy, Battenfield. I am not a fan of Mr. Battenfield. He hasn't been the worst thus far, but that lack of command is really starting to catch up to him. Over his last 3 starts, he's walked 11 batters. And if we isolate the last 2 starts, he surrendered 7 runs, 9 hits, 8 walks through less than 7 innings of work. The Twins got shut down by Giolito and Kopech, so I get why some people are doubting those bats. Those guys are far more proven than Battenfield, and they have great history against Twins lineup. Twins are drawing walks at second highest rate over the last 2 weeks. I think they not only draw guys on base, but I think they smash Battenfield. This guy's hard hit percentage is horrendous. Twins first 5 on the run line.
I mean, the research is solid behind it.
You know what I could see? I could see the Guardians winning the full game due to just how bad the Minnesota Twins bullpen is. That is what I could see.
But what I'm seeing is I think all your numbers may be correct. The Twins lineup just might suck.
Fair. But I think they could score 1 run and win this.
Yeah, it's true. Next. Orioles at Braves. I wanted to do it, and I'm gonna even put up Baltimore pass, but it's mostly pass. Usually, whenever you look on Fangraphs or any of those sites, if you sort it by the last 2 weeks, Baltimore versus left-handed pitching is always in the top 5, top 7. Right now, they're down at 13th in the last 2 weeks, so they've cooled off a bit. If it was a normal time at this price, I'd be down to take a shot with Baltimore against Fried, but Fried's just looked really good, and if Baltimore's cooled off a little, I can't get there because Kramer. No, that's a tough sell. So at this price, I'm not going to take the Braves when they're this expensive against an Orioles team that I don't think is terrible. But no, I can't get there.
I think really the best angle for this game, if you're looking at it, is the Braves first 5 team total over 2.5. It's definitely not an official play for me. Just because I found the line a bit weird where it opened. Like, I think if they think a guy's really going to get hit up through the first 5, they'll put that 2.5 line at like minus 125 to start. It opened at around minus 115, minus 110 on books. I see that a lot of cappers on Twitter, such as myself, are all over that first 5 team total. So I'm just going to sit it out. But guys, if you bet it, I mean, you have a great reason to do so because Dean Kramer sucks. And he's allowed 4+ runs through the first 5 in his last 5 or 6 starts. I mean, maybe I'm missing something here, but I think he will get hit up again. But ultimately, this is a pass because I don't have a play on the side, and I'm not really loving either of the totals either.
Cool.
I like the sharpness, Raven Round. O's up, baby.
O's money line. You got balls, man. I wish I could tell you on it. I don't have the balls to do it. A's at Royals. This is actually another one to his pick. I kind of disagree with this one.
Stay down, fool.
I would say Oakland or pass for this one, just because I think that the public's suffering a bit of recency bias here. Take a look at this. The entire world is betting Kansas City. Am I aware that the Royals are playing much better baseball than Oakland? I absolutely am. But if you sat me down and were like, yo, the Royals are minus 170 better than Oakland, I'd be like, whoa, let's pump the brakes a little here. So I just think this is just playing the price. I'm not going to bet Oakland, but in my opinion, if you gave me this price, Oakland versus Kansas City, 100 straight games, and you bet Oakland all 100, you would be definitely up money.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree, but yeah, there was a funny comment from Stupid about Jordan Lyles giving us a signed game ball that was hit into left field. I mean, I would fucking throw that shit in the trash in 2 seconds after what happened yesterday. Call me a madman. I'm back in KC.
You are a madman for this one.
I have like a disease. Like, I've just been burnt by this team so many times, and I like it almost. I like the burn. Yeah, I like that. I like them to score some run here, guys. It sounds crazy, but like, look over the last week. They're 7th in WRC plus and 7th in WRC plus against lefties over the last 2 weeks. They've scored a fat 23 runs combined over the last 3 games, cashing the total all 3 times. And I think they face much better competition, not only in terms of a starter, but in terms of a bullpen. Now they're going to face Kyle Muller, a lefty who's been brutal on the road as a starter throughout his career, through 5 road starts going back to 2022. Guys got a 9 ERA, a WOBA above 400, a 6.08 FIP. I mean, that's really, really not good. And the 2 lone road starts he had this year, he allowed 10 runs and 21 base runners through less than 9 innings of work. I think the Royals bats can get to him early and snag some runs, but what is really enticing for me here is yesterday I said it, the KC Royals can smash some bullpens, and the Oakland bullpen is the worst of them all. The grandpapa of mids bullpenning, and I think that they're going to crank them. Over the last week, they are 2nd in WRC plus from the 6th and 9th inning, 7th over the last 2 weeks. If you want to take the 5.5, I don't mind the plus money at all. I think there's a reason the books are putting it this high. I mean, most people after the recent history or just betting them on the season do not want to bet this. I will. I'm a sicko.
You know what I see happening here is, because you're coming over to work tonight and we're going to have this game on, and I can almost hear your voice saying it. I can't believe I bet this dog shit lineup to score 6 runs. And we hear your voice saying
it's not going to be that. It's going to be, I can't believe I didn't bet the full game over. I knew Brad Keller sucked.
Why, when Oakland's up 9-3?
I mean, that could be, but the entire time I was saying to you, if you like the full game over, we could put it on. But
Nah, I didn't.
never got anything from you.
No,
Brad Keller sucks. So, he's gonna. I couldn't because the A's are too bad, but I watched that entire Brad Keller start against Minnie. Holy God, but he's a problem and not in a good way.
This next one, another pick that's his that I don't love, but I can't be on the other side. So he likes the Tigers a lot. He likes the Tigers a lot. I don't like them a lot, but there's no way in hell I would bet the Cardinals here. So I'm on Detroit or pass. He actually likes the Tigers though. Go ahead.
Yeah, I do. I mean, guys, this is the flat out better team. The Tigers are better than the Cardinals right now, not only record wise, but pretty much in every conceivable way. They're third in WRC plus against lefties over the last month, while the Cardinals are ninth. Their bullpen is top 10 over the last 2 weeks, while the Cardinals is bottom 10. I mean, the only edge really is Jordan Montgomery, but I think he's overvalued because he just faced the Dodgers and the Giants back-to-back, two teams that have struggled greatly against lefties. Now he's going to face the Tigers, who are top 3. And let's not ignore that through 15 innings of work at home, Monty's posting a 372 WOBA and a 163 whip. That's not good. Boyd looks solid in his 2 road starts, and while the Cardinals were excellent against lefties last year, listen to this. If you take out the Madison Bumgarner implosion that happened against them, I mean, the guy stinks and he got sent to AAA, borderline retiring. So I'm taking that start out. The last 5 lefties to face St. Louis own a 3.33 ERA and a 1.18 whip. Does that scare you? It doesn't really scare me. And we're getting nearly plus 200 on this side with a team that's playing much better baseball right now. I can't pass it up.
Hairston says Cardinals can go straight to hell.
Yeah, they really could. They're a devilish franchise. I'm going to start calling for some heads soon. I'm going to start the charge that the manager needs to be fired. What type of team is this?
Did you say they're a devilish franchise? Yo, Stupid's doing the alt run line. Detroit minus 1.5.
I like this guy, Stupid. He's got it going on. He's got a good eye.
I like Stupid. All right, let's move on to the next one. Texas at Rangers at Angels. So, actually, no, we're on the same page on this one. He's on the full game over. I isolated Texas first 5 team total over 2.5. Feel bad doing this to my boy Tyler Anderson, but it's time.
So bad at all.
I like the Rangers here. Texas has been crushing lefties this whole season. I still do think Tyler Anderson is a bit undervalued, but this is a really tough spot for him, a really tough lineup for him to pitch against. Not only are the Rangers hot against lefties, they're hot in general. They scored 28 runs in their last 3 games. 28. Team is scoring runs. Those bats are awake right now. The reason I'm not just straight up betting, it looks like I forgot to do the pie charts for this. Oh no, it's because the line opened late. That's why there's no pie charts for this one.
Yep.
So the reason I'm not just straight up taking the Rangers money line is the Angels bullpen. Those numbers are they're fucking crazy. The Angels bullpen in the last 7 days, opposing batters are hitting just 164 off them. Angels bullpen is first in the last week, first in the last 2 weeks. I mean, this bullpen is putting up insane numbers right now, so I'm going to stay off the Rangers money line and just isolate it to the first 5. Texas team total over 2.5. Now, on the other side, he's about to tell you why the Angels should rock Dane Dunning, and he's not wrong. The only reason I'm not jumping out the door to tail him on the over is the Angels returning from a 6-game road trip without a day off. Sometimes that results in flat bats, so I'm a little worried about that. By the way, it's Dane Dunning pitching, not Eovaldi. It was supposed to be Eovaldi last night. That's why the graphics are wrong. So go ahead. You're on the over 9, right?
9.5 at plus 102.
Okay.
I love Dane Dunning, I do, but I know better than to back this man on the road. I mean, he has a start in 2022, which was a career year for him. He had a 5.62 ERA, 3.76 WOBA, 1.71 WHIP, and a 3.55 BABIP on the road. I mean, that's just really, really bad. He's posted better numbers out of the pen thus far with Texas for this season, but one point of weakness for him has been against righties. Now he's going to face an Angels lineup with 7 or 8 righties in it. Not exactly the best spot. Through 3 trips to LA, Dunning's 0-2 with a 7.71 ERA, a 1.95 whip, and a 1.7 home run per 9. And over the last 2 weeks, I mean, Angels are just cranking it right now. 3rd in WRC plus against righties, and those bats are much better at home. Anderson's pitching for the Angels, and he showed up against Milwaukee, but like, who doesn't show up against Milwaukee? Everybody does. Let's not ignore the guy's 3 previous games where he allowed an unholy 17 runs, 5 homers, and 28 base runs.
What lefty doesn't show up against Milwaukee?
It's a fact. And Texas is smashing lefties right now. Last 5 lefties to face them, allowing 4+ runs each. 3 of those guys are Lodolo, Cortez, and Valdez. Those are some pretty damn good lefties. Adding a Texas bullpen that looks abysmal lately. And and the Angels bullpen that's mainly comprised of strong lefty arms, but suspect righty arms. And I think this game goes over. I know the Angels bullpen is performing well right now, but I'm not ready to give that respect. And I think that how bad the Rangers bullpen is right now could counteract how bad the Rangers bullpen is right now could counteract how good the Angels bullpen is right now.
That's a solid point. I didn't think about that, and that is a solid point. I was just like blown away by the Angels bullpen numbers, and I was like, I don't know if I could get there with a full game over. Didn't take into consideration how poor the Rangers bullpen has been. What's that one game recently where we bet the Rangers and
the Diamondbacks where they allowed 7 runs in the top of the 7th?
Josh Jung hits like 7 home runs. We still don't win.
Put the team on his back, though.
Yeah, for real. Let's move on to the next one. Dodgers at Padres. Okay, so the mystery is solved.
Dodgers.
I don't know if you saw last night's video. I was like, how is this line -115? What the hell? Well, Yu Darvish is pitching, and Yu Darvish is a beast at home in San Diego. So that doesn't change anything for me. I'm still betting the Dodgers. But you know what? I almost like it better now because it makes more sense to me. Because when it was Kershaw versus Musgrove at -115, you guys heard me when I recorded last night. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, why are they giving us this? Now that it's Yu Darvish, it makes more sense. I still love the Dodgers. Let's see if I still have my notes open. Yeah, here we go. 36 runs in the last 3 games. They're smacking the baseball right now. They're 23-5 in their last 28 games against the Padres. 23 of their last 28 games against the Padres. These are division rivals. Not much of a rivalry. Kershaw was even great in his last road start in Wrigley Field, who at the time, the Cubs were red hot against lefties. Kershaw went into Wrigley, shut them down. I have confidence he can shut this lineup down too. I'm definitely on the Dodgers here. I know it feels a bit square, and you can see from this, it looks like sharp action is in on the Padres here. So I'm definitely the square in this one. I don't care. Squares unite. Let's get ourselves a dub tonight with this one.
I mean, dude, yeah. How do you fade this Dodgers lineup right now? It's like,
Toast said Dodgers -1.5. I didn't think about that.
Okay, listen, Toast. I looked, and the only reason I'm not gonna lay that 1.5 is because I was looking through recent history of LA against Darvish, and 2 of the games of the 4 that they won recently, they didn't cover the run line, and they were at San Diego. So I chose to just do the money line here. Trust me, this is the only game that's gonna happen. We're gonna get back to the run line soon, but just because of that scenario where both pitchers could deal, I'm just gonna make it the money line here. This lineup's so impressive. The only one who I don't think is great is Jason Hayward, but then you get past the fearsome foursome of Betts, Freeman, Smith, Muncy. You then get to Outman, who's a stud, potential Rookie of the Year candidate, Vargas, who's red hot right now, Peralta, who's starting to hit the bat better lately. I mean, even with the firepower, the Padres bats, the Dodgers are just still so much better. This team is just so good, and there's no reason to fade them right now. Kershaw is dealing out of his mind. And let's not forget, if you look at the season-long numbers for the Padres against lefties, I think they're a bit inflated from that Manega start. But look at the last 6 lefties to face San Diego. 0.97 whip, 1.32 ERA, 0.3 home runs allowed per 9.
Wait, for real?
Yes, they cannot hit lefties.
So wait, because I was looking at the numbers, and Padres had decent numbers against lefties. Manaya fucked their numbers up that bad?
Well, I think part of that is that either Manaya
or bullpen,
that bad, or they face some weak bullpen lefty arms.
Right, that makes sense.
Yes, but if you're just looking at starting pitchers against them, starting lefties are having really good days against the Padres lately.
Yeah,
I mean, Dodgers pen is also rounding into shape, so it's hard to fade the Dodgers here. There's no reason to. I get to fade the Dodgers. I get to play the Dodgers and be sharp on this side. I'll take it.
No, I'm not. Nope. Washington at Arizona. This one's my pick, and I'm sticking with it. And Beaver backed me. He's down to play it with me. It did move up to 5. I'll run through my notes again, even though I'm sure a number of you have already heard my thoughts on this one. Where are my notes on this one? Hold on.
I got some good notes. If you
No. No, I want to use my notes.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
All
so
right.
Josiah Gray on a mission right now. Just 5 earned runs in his last 28 and 2/3 innings. He's dominating, and these are against good lineups. Mets, Orioles went into Coors Field, shut the Angels down. I do like Arizona's lineup, especially at home. This has been a good lineup at home, but I will not back any lineup against Josiah Gray right now. But I'm also not backing the Washington lineup either. Yeah, the Nats have been better, and if you've been watching the show, you know I've been backing the Nats first 5 the last few games, and we've been cashing, but I think Merrill Kelly's in a prime spot for a great home start. This dude was very good at home last year, off to kind of a rocky start at home this year, but again, it was against the Padres, Dodgers, Brewers. He finally gets a start at home where he can dominate in front of the home fans, and I think he does so. I really like this one. This is probably my favorite first 5 under I've seen in the last few days. So first 5, and it moved up to 5, which I get. Maybe he's a little scary. It seems like the odds makers kind of feel the opposite. I don't care. I'll take it. First 5 under 5.
Yeah, I agree with you here. When Josiah Gray's on Demon Time, hop up out the way, because after getting lit up in his first start against the Braves, Josiah Gray over his last 4 starts owns a 1.57 ERA, a 0.3 home runs allowed per 9, and a 16.5 hard hit percentage. The dude is on fire right now, and he's managed to be even better against lefties thus far. Very important when you're going to face a Diamondbacks lineup. And another little caveat for Mr. Gray, he was awesome on the road last year. If you know Josiah Gray going back to last year, you want to back him on the road. That is where he plays his best baseball. I mean, as Kyle was saying, dude, I love the Diamondbacks lineup. Coming into the season, I was preaching their praises. I still am very, very high on them. And I'll probably back them tomorrow if they have a worse pitcher on the mound. If like Jack Wool's on the mound, I'm going to be taking that team total over. But today, it's Josiah Gray day. You don't mess around with that. Merrill Kelly has held opponents to 2 or fewer runs through the first 5 and 5 or 6 starts thus far, and held them scoreless in 4 or 6 starts through the first 5. It's the 6th inning where we get to see Kelly tend to implode a little bit. And Kelly's also been great against lefties. Nats regularly start 5 to 6 of them. Nats are also just a bottom 10 lineup against righties. And really, with the exception of like Oviedo and Pablo Lopez recently, maybe Tyone, who's coming off injury and hasn't even looked good, the Nats aren't hitting righties. And I think that this is a really nice price. I think they're overvaluing the park factor here in Arizona. And I think we could squeeze one out at a 2-2 game.
Yeah, agreed. All right, next game. Mariners at Astros. Houston, baby.
Yeah,
Houston, baby.
Yeah, baby.
This one, I'll let him talk. He has more notes on this than I do. Very simple. Christian Javier at plus money. I'm in, man. This guy, it could be the best pitcher in baseball within the next few months. We could honestly be saying that. And it's literally that simple. This is the only reason for this price is recency bias. If you watch my stuff, you know that I'm not the hugest Luis Castillo fan, although I do acknowledge that he belongs in the ace discussion. Like, he's an ace in the league, but I think he's a low-end ace versus a high-end ace. I don't trust the Mariners lineup, although I will say at home against righties would be the spot I would trust the Mariners lineup, but not this guy.
Yeah, I mean, pure fate of the Mariners here at a plus price. I don't really give a damn who's on the mound for Seattle. Castillo may be dealing, but he's going to face an angry Houston lineup that dropped both of their home series. And I talked about Toast with this last year. He kind of put me onto this theory. It's when a team is bad at home and they finally get to go out on the road, it's usually a pretty good spot to bet them. I don't know. Sometimes you just need a change of scenery. And while facing Castillo isn't exactly ideal, I think we're starting to see a little bit of cracks in the armor from Mr. Castillo. He's allowed 17 base runners and 5 runs through his last 2 starts. So we are starting to see some guys get on base. And if Houston could as you see with that total of 6.5, if they can nab 2 runs off of him, then we got a decent shot here. Because on the other side is my boy Christian Javier, who's got great numbers against the Mariners lineup. I think we're going to see a vintage performance today, possibly double-digit Ks. I need to check his K prop line afterwards, but I think we're going to see a clinic by him today. Not only can Seattle not refrain themselves from swinging at every pitch, but they're 21st in OPS against righties over the last week. Books have this at 6.5 right now. They're implying it's a coin flip. Why not take the plus price?
Absolutely. What we do is we have a call before the one dude said Mariners couldn't hit your fastball.
It's true. And I don't even have a high velo.
He's got great action on it, though. A lot of movement on Prop Beaver's fastball. We have a call where we do the VIP ticket before we go live, and we choose like the bet of the day and the parlay of the day. By the way, if you're interested in that, it's on KyleKirms.com. But anyway, so we have that call, and we got to this game, and it was like Houston. All right, next. Like there was no discussion. Yeah. There was
gotta back them.
Yeah, no discussion at all. Last game. I'm sorry I didn't get the pie chart up for this one. I kind of like Prop Beaver's angle on this. This is his pick, so I'm going to give him the floor. But I like dogging first 5 unders out, and I kind of like his angle. He's about to tell you why Manaea might be a tad undervalued in this spot, and I kind of like it. Deal.
Yeah, so I just think that this line is suspect as all shit. We got Burns as just a minus 120 favorite against the Giants, a lineup that he owns. I mean, what? But I think it's going to make a bit more sense when you look into for run support he's going to be getting here. Everybody loves to fade Sean Manaea, including myself, but I mean, the Brewers cannot hit a lefty to save their lives. The dynamic duo of Kyle Freeland and Jose Suarez just combined to hold them scoreless through 10 innings of work, allowing just 5 hits and striking out 11 guys. And Manaea, as bad as he is, the guy has phenomenal numbers against the Brewers lineup. They're batting just .214 against him through 28 ABs with 9 Ks. And when he saw them last year, he went into Milwaukee and held them to just run, striking out 8 guys. I think there's a reason, doing a little prop reading here, that Sean Manaea's earned run line is only at 1.5. I mean, if you look at Sean Manaea lines, when the hell
that is
are you
crazy.
1.5 earned run line with Sean Manaea? That never happened.
When you're a lefty against the Brewers, that's when.
Exactly. And on the other side, we got the Giants, who are definitely decent bats against right-handed pitching, but they've just getting consistently summed by Burns. Listen to these career numbers. This is insane. 64 ABs. Burns owns a 456 OPS and a 50% K percentage against the Giants lineup. Over half of the at-bats they've seen against Burns have been strikeouts through 64. Yes, 50% K percentage through 64 at-bats. That's a huge sample size. These dudes cannot keep up with him. I'm probably going to add Burns Ks in a few moments, but yeah, I think that at the low vig, it's really hard to pass this up. I think that if there is an over in this game, it's going to come in the late innings, both bottom 5 bullpens over the last 2 weeks. But if we're just talking strictly first 5, I think that we could go under this total.
Yeah, I like it. Honestly, when you first said it and on the phone, you kind of gave me that pitch. I was like, I'm on board with that. When I put my foot on the brakes a little bit was when I saw it was at an even 4 instead of 4.5. That's when I was like, oh. But I'm not gonna let a half run throw me off that. I'm down. Toast is hating on Manaea as he always does.
We were talking earlier. He said that he kind of agrees with it because of the spot for both teams, with the Brewers coming out of Coors.
Yeah,
and Burns being Burns against the Giants.
I'm down. All right, let's move on to first. You know what? We need to incorporate some more strikeout props. Maybe we could each come up with 1 or 2 a day because they always ask for them.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, honestly, Corbin Burns, I don't know what it's at, but like, how do you not bet that?
No, I'm not saying what I'm saying is like moving forward. I think we should each have 1 or 2 to give out at the end. Because I noticed that those are really popular, and I'm inexperienced. When I bet strikeout props, I'm usually tailing somebody. I don't really look at strikeout rate. I don't look at that kind of stuff. So I'll start looking at it.
I got something for y'all. Y'all may like your little K props, but what about a real
man's prop? Oh my God, do not give us a walk prop. A walk prop.
What about a walk prop? Go on to your little DraftKings. Battenfield, this guy has a 19% walk rate over his last 3 games. The Twins' second highest walk rate over the last 2 weeks, and they've had 6 straight righties go over against them, and their last 8 of 10. We're getting that plus money at plus 215 over 2.5 walks. Silly talk.
I can't believe that you're okay with just like sitting there with your face on YouTube in front of a couple hundred people with walk prop next to it.
Kyle, did you see the hat I bought last night? I don't care.
Oh yeah, that hat's gonna be hilarious. All right, so let's do community parlay. Oh, he also like Corbin Burns strikeouts over. I didn't put it on this.
I gotta verify that. I need to go through the
follow him on Twitter. He'll tweet it
process,
out.
and we'll see.
Community parlay, you know the drill. Shout them out. Let's hear some legs. In case you're new, we all throw legs into the comments and make a parlay. Spoiler alert, it never fucking hits. It hit the first time. It hit the first time. Never hit since, but we still do it because it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a profitable strategy is do a round robin of the opposite legs. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I like what Jake said. Dane Dunning over 2.5 mound approaches. Trust me, buddy. If there were mound approaches, probably be my best prop.
Twins money line, first leg.
I could sniff bad command from a mile away.
All right, we're waiting on some legs here. It's a little delayed.
Unless it's Jordan Lyles and Jack Flaherty. Fucking scrubs.
Detroit plus 1.5. Oh man, they're all coming now. Okay.
Oh baby. I like that plus 1.5. We'll do.
Why is it not showing? Oh, here. What the hell? It's too fast. All right, Rangers money line, Tampa money line, Detroit plus 1.5, Braves money line. Let's cut it off there and see where we're at. That's 5 legs, right. So we might have to ditch one.
I'm about to calculate. Okay, so Rangers money line.
Someone just threw out Dodgers too, but we're capping it off at 5.
Okay, Twins we got.
Twins, Rangers, Rays, Tigers plus 1.5, Braves money line.
I got sun on my screen right now. I'm fighting a tough
battle.
You've
had like a sun thing on your face this whole show.
It makes me pretty. Wow. Let me take those hits out because that was ridiculous odds. So, all right, for that 5-legger, it's plus 1621.
All right, which one should we lose?
I think that
you like the Twins. Tigers plus 1.5. I can get with that. I'd say if you're asking me which one we should lose, I'd say Rangers, or because I think that bullpen might get lit up by the Angels.
That's okay. Very good point. That's it. Yeah.
So take out
plus 668.
That's more like it. That's more our speed. Yeah. All right. So here's the community parlay. It will not hit. You know what? Maybe this one will. Twins money line, Tampa money line, Detroit plus 1.5, Braves money line at plus 668. There's Beaver's corny ass prop bet that I'm not tailing, his walk prop. In fact, I hope it loses so I can tweet out a screenshot of this with laughing emojis. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Friday shows are always the best because I wish all MLB days had the slate loaded up 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Makes it fun. But yeah, Prop Beaver has, unfortunately, a viewing tomorrow. Family funeral, right? Tomorrow? Yeah, so he won't be here. I'm going to try to go live at 11 a.m. We'll see. I might come live by myself. If not, we'll definitely be uploading MLB tonight after the games are over. So I'll be putting my picks on YouTube. It's just a matter of not. We'll see if I go live at 11 a.m. I probably will for a few minutes. So thanks a lot for hanging around. Let's have ourselves a good Friday night. Let's snap this losing streak. Yes, 3 losing days in a row in the MLB. Let's snap it tonight. Reach out to us on Twitter if you need anything. See you tomorrow.
Peace out.